net slaap worden.
Wanneer gaat het hier op?
Lockdown was te kort voor mij. Is je live? I don't see the streaming.
I am.
Wanneer het zeker vir jou titel gee? Skoonmaker, supervisor of wat?
Brand director.
Brand director, ja. Okay.
Lockdown was te kort.
Okay. Kijk nou. Ah, cute.
You haven't plugged in the audio.
It's a. Because I was like, what is going on?
Under.
I
Quiero comerte viva, que tú sabes que soy hueco. Bailame suave que me pongo violento. Me suspira, quiere que sea su dueño. Y sería cubana como otro consecuente. Black box o guapita. You can tell she no good mover. Very well disappear with the bad boys. Caramel on the halabu pomona. Every day, baby, won't you come closer? I wanna touch your body, your love. When the sun's up, we be hangover. Then it's all over.
Baby, when you come closer, wanna touch your body all over. When the sun's out, we'll be hungover. Then it's all over. Stop telling now you're hungover. Otherwise, I know you're hungover. Eating your milk, you're hungover. Getting through now you're hungover. Stop telling now you're hungover. Otherwise, I know you're hungover. Eating your milk, you're hungover. Getting through now you're hungover. Stop telling now you're hungover. Otherwise, I know you're hungover. Eating your milk, you're hungover. Getting through now you're hungover.
12 minutes past 8 on this Thursday morning. It is Top Cherry featuring Otherwise and King Elegant with Hangover. Good morning and welcome to the morning mix right here on Informante Radio. If you are, of course, catching the stream live on our Facebook page, then you would have realized by now that it's not business as usual, at least not for now. Maria is here is she throwing a tantrum?
No. She's saying either you or me are not in the shot.
Oh, yeah.
So Shines.
No, that's why the cameraman is there. He's operating things himself today. He's
So
like,
Shines is like,
yeah.
So this is what Shines is doing today. Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. Good morning. Neville, first, maybe you should introduce our guests of honor this morning.
You know what? It is such an honor to have them in the studio here this morning, and we really just want to welcome all our viewers, our followers this morning here on our live stream at Informante Radio. We are joined here this morning in the studio by Mr. Gys Joubert, the CEO of Gondwana. And then we have on my far left Mr. Manny Goldbeck, who's the brand director of Gondwana. Goeiemôre, good morning.
Hi Neville.
Ja. Ons gaan net vir jou eerste sin. We will speak Deutsch. Okay? Yeah. So is there something that you want to tell us, Manny? Just quickly in Süddeutsch, Oschindeutschi. Yeah, like good morning, guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren, of so. Yeah.
Guten Morgen alle Deisters.
Okay, so you heard there, and it's really such a pleasure to have you guys here in the studio. You know what, Cubase, you know, for the last couple of weeks, we've been focusing a lot as to, I think, in terms of COVID-19, the pandemic that's been spreading globally, how it has affected the different industries globally. And I think one of the industries that it is highly affected is, at this moment in time is the hospitality industry or the tourism industry.
Of course. With our borders still closed and seemingly they are going to remain closed for some time to come, of course the tourism industry is probably going to be the hardest hit in this time. So it is kind of interesting to find out how the industry is surviving and maybe how they are planning and gearing for the future.
Exactly, and that is why we have the opportunity to speak to Gondwana this morning. And I think maybe the first question, we've been seeing the Gondwana brand for quite a number of years, and I think many years ago when we started doing a few things together, I remember quite a big event that I hosted for Gondwana. I think that was my first contact with Gondwana a few years ago. But you guys have been in existence for quite some time. Give us a little bit of history, guys, as to where Gondwana comes from.
Now, well, it started in end of 95. So we will turn 25 years end of the year. That's quite a long time. You see the gray hair.
Silver Jubilee. 25 years.
Yeah, it's all started at the Fish River Canyon, where we had a small lodge, created a huge private park, and from there on we creep slowly up to the north, and we're going to open one of our lodges now in June, just north of Etosha, at the borders to the north. Currently Gondwana is employing more than 1,000 workers in the country. We handled, under normal circumstances, we had about 240,000 bed nights a year. Obviously that is down now, almost to zero. But that is where Gondwana started in 95, and slowly worked up. And the brand essence, you're talking about the brand Gondwana, it started very early, and it was about storytelling as well. And that is where the brand essence comes in, have a story to tell. So we want to make an experience to the tourist, to the visitor, that he got something to take home and talk about. So it's where it started off, and it always had a three bottom line approach on an environmental side, a financial side, and on the social side. And then over the years, we also started to cater for different markets, from camping to upper market. And in between, everybody will be able to find something for his pocket. And lately, the biggest hit is the camping to go. It's a self-catering thing, which is affordable, and especially with the Gondwana card. But it is a company that started after independence. It's a born-free company with no legacy, and highly successful over the years.
Gondwana has been in existence for 25 years now, no? It just shows how abysmal the culture of touring our own country is here. I thought for the longest time Gondwana was a lodge. Not a group of lodges, a lodge.
Oh, I see.
But it is interesting to find out, and a staff complement of over 1,000 people. Obviously, you have been trying to encourage local tourism with things like the Gondwana card and stuff like that. But maybe that is something that you might have to ramp up, especially now with the absence of international visitors coming to the country. What plans do you guys perhaps have in the pipeline?
I think the difference is that 15 years ago we started with the Gondwana card.
Yeah.
It was also because if you look at the value chain, because at that time and still until recently, you had a value chain of the lodge, then you had the operator in the country, you had a wholesaler overseas, and you had a travel agency. And everybody wanted a cut from that pie. So you ended up with a commission up to 40, sometimes even more percentage. And we felt at that time that people were saying already at that time, 15 years ago, it's too expensive for locals to travel. And we said, why should we not cut this commission for locals, because there is no in between. Why should we take advantage of it? And that is where 15 years ago we started with the Gondwana card, and for Namibians we gave 50% discount. And now that we also got different types of accommodations and price brackets, it really makes it affordable.
Yeah.
And so we don't only do it now that it is bad in tourism, that we look at the local tourism. No, we did it 15 years ago, and we will continue with it. And on top of it, we will also have some specials that even makes it more affordable. So we're not in for the short run, we're in the long term. And that also has been proven by the 80,000 Gondwana card holders we got. It's a huge platform which we can communicate immediately, send out our specials, and they're very loyal to us. And this is everybody from all walks of life. And they're so proud of their Gondwana card. You know, wherever you come, I'm a Gondwana card, so they actually take ownership of your company.
Guys, maybe I would like for you to come in here. What do I need to do to basically qualify for this Gondwana card? What's the process? Is it a cumbersome process? Must there be money on the card? What kind of discounts do one get? Just give us a brief overview as to what one can do to.
Thank you, Neville. So it's a very, very easy process. Where you simply apply. You can do it also online on our website. You pay a once-off fee of $200, and for that you get 50 Namibians get 50% discount on accommodation and 25% discount on food. We are in the background, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm also working on even increasing some of those benefits in the future, in the near future. And again, not as a once-off, like Mani said. This is a permanent gesture to the Namibian population, but also SADC. So the regional citizens also qualify, but for like our neighbors, for 40% discount. So it's a very easy process. At the moment, it's still card based, but we're also working on making it simply digital.
I would like to admit something here on the show this morning, that I am a Gondwana card holder, but my wife doesn't know about it. Shh.
That's a whole other conversation to be had.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Maybe the next thing, Gees, that I wanted to find out. I have a few friends, family who's in the tourism industry or hospitality industry. For instance, I have a guy who's been a tour operator for a number of years. He would go to the airport, he would go and pick up the tourists, and he would drive them around the country for 7-8 days, take them back to the airport, pick up another set. That was his life. That's weg. He's been home for the last 2 months, and he can't take care of his family at the moment. In your opinion, what is the extended effect that this COVID-19 had, I think, on the industry as a whole? And maybe you guys can both. Maybe just
and Neville, you've said it. Unfortunately, the impact is complete. It is a complete standstill. And I think the one thing that we as a nation maybe are starting to see now is, we focus on tourism as an industry, and you've mentioned tour guides and people. Those are independent contractors, people working for themselves.
Yeah,
they have nothing now to fall back on. But I think what maybe in the past we have not seen as clearly as we're seeing it now is the peripheral impact. It is other industries and the impact that Gondwana has on other industries. We have a big car rental industry in Namibia because of tourism, and people are servicing the car rentals, of 4x4 shops and just vehicle servicing. You're talking about companies that provide solar and electricity, where 50, 60, 70% of their customers are tourism, lodges. And I think, the impact on the whole economy, apart from just the industry, is becoming clear now. And I hope we learn from that, first of all, and also we grab the opportunities that come from that.
Is there something that you want to add maybe to that, Manny?
No, I think we start to realize now what how important and how big tourism actually is in this country and what role it can play. And I hope really that the decision makers and government will realize it, that tourism is the future, even if it is not in an ideal situation at the moment, but it will recover at one stage. And it can play such a major role in this country, and what we also realize what role it already played now. And I think it's the most sustainable economic sector we got, and we really should take care of it and position ourselves now for the future to come, because it's going to play still in the years to come a major role in this country.
Cubase, I think you would agree with me is that I think Namibia as a brand, I think especially when it comes to the tourism industry, we've really positioned ourselves globally very well as a brand out there.
It's a tourist destination.
Yeah, as a tourist destination. So in terms of brand Namibia, guys, what do you guys think Gondwana can contribute to obviously maintain this brand, and obviously in terms of how we have to redirect ourselves in doing business, how can we take this brand forward?
Neville, first I agree with you that, especially the NTB, the Namibian Tourism Office in Germany, especially for Central Europe, they have done over the years with a little budget they have received, and it was cut year by year by government. They have done an exceptional good work. They did it with smart partnerships, and in Central Europe they did an amazing job to market ourselves. But there's much more we can do, and I think it's time now that the industry moves together and starts branding and telling the story of Namibia out there. And we from Gondwana side, we will definitely continue what we're doing. I mean, we over the last few years we built a strong brand, especially in Southern Africa. And then over the last few years we also moved into Europe and branded Gondwana. But it's time that we move together, because every dollar is a prisoner at the moment, and everyone wants money now. And I think the NTB also needs money, because the bad levy is falling away, and then you need money to market the country, and especially now that the exchange rate is so low. But we can do it smartly. NTB started with a campaign called Namibia is Waiting for You. Gondwana got one, which is Namibia is Dreaming of You. So we can move together. And just to show you what we have done in the last week is we brought out a nice video clip, which reached about 500,000 of people. And we will continue with it. We got an exceptional ingredients in this country, the contrast, the people, beautiful people, landscape. So we got it all to really market this country there, and that will be our advantage. But obviously we have to move together to do that, and put resources to it.
I think, Neville, if I can jump in there, I think it's so important, and we've seen it on many platforms, that brand Namibia is so important. There's no use brand Gondwana being strong, but brand Namibia being weak, because people come to our country, they don't come to Gondwana, and we really, it's a collective. When it comes to the tourism industry, it is a collective for all of us to stand strong. And we've been a bit lucky. If for once, it's good to have a small population, a big country and a small population. And in every crisis there are many opportunities, so brand Namibia is starting to stand out, unfortunately, and we don't wish harm on anyone, especially our neighbors. But in terms of the region, we're starting to stand out because it seems that we have this virus under control.
Kan jy onthou so 'n paar weke gelede Cubase op die show, toe sê die mense mos laat hulle nou praat nou, ja, ons wil gekeiter word hierso in Namibia. Hulle het mos lekker gelewe, die klomp Chinese wat kom en die klomp Duitsers wat kom en the Russians wat kom en the price is like mos sky high. Jy kan onthou. So wat gaan Gondwana nou doen op hierdie oomblik? Kyk, om vir my te keiter vir ou Suka daar in Katatura of ou Donovan daar in Kommersdal wat ook wil travel. Ons wil ook gaan because we have no idea what Gondwana is offering at the moment. What is there that you guys will do to bring us into the fray?
I think, Neville, there's a couple of things, and I think the context here is very important. Tourism is largely an export business.
Yeah.
And like Mani said, it's a sustainable export business. We always say our gold can never run out. Our gold can be here for 100 and 1,000 years in terms of our beautiful landscapes, our beautiful cultures, our diversity, and all that. But the whole industry over many decades was built on the business of largely export. So now we cannot export. Now we can only tap into the local market, and people must understand that the capacity in the industry is for, like Mani said, only Gondwana has 250,000 bed nights. So the whole industry, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bed nights, which the local market can simply not fill. The analogy that we use is to say, we've got mines in Namibia, we've got gold mines and uranium mines. And if we go now and we say, okay, guys, continue mining, but you can only sell your gold in Namibia.
Yeah.
It's just not realistic. So, and that is where I'm so proud, of what Gondwana, what Mani did in the past is in terms of the Gondwana card, as a permanent gesture. But it's not. It doesn't stop there. Obviously, we've always been busy with other specials on top of the 50% pensioner specials. We did the Black Friday special end of last year, which blew our minds. Yes, we will we will continue to look at it. But we, as a nation, we must understand and we must be realistic that despite all good intent, the industry cannot be carried by just the local market.
All right. There are a couple of questions that are coming from our viewers this morning. And I can see one of your employees is really trying to keep his job because he's busy even replying to some of the comments here. As Eric Lee Garweb saying, my boss is in the house. Ndavu Nunyango asked two questions. How long does it take after the application to get the Gondwana card if applied for online? And does the benefits take effect immediately once you have the card, or is there a probation period? And maybe just to throw this one in as well, because it's also regarding the card. How can old Gondwana card holders who have lost their cards acquire a new one? Should they put in a new application, or will they be required to pay 200 Namibian dollars again?
Ja, ons wil weet.
I think first of all, there's no probation period. As soon as you get your card, you get the benefits. It's difficult questions. We've got very, very good people, and Mani and myself are not directly working with the cards on a daily basis. But we are not busy at the moment. So in terms of timing, it will be quick. It's a matter of days, if not even less than that. And yes, like I said, the benefits are immediately there.
Okay. Eric Lee Garweb replying, say, please email your query to namibia@gondwana-card.com. This guy should keep his job. Definitely. And speaking of jobs, of course, you have a staff complement of over 1,000. And I mean, we understand that the industry has been hit, and many of the other industries are trying to sort of retrench some employees just to stay afloat. Do you guys have plans to head in that direction, or somehow maybe mitigate the effects, salary cuts and stuff like that?
Yes, that is such a difficult one. And when the crisis hit, we sat down as management, because one thing that Mani didn't mention, from the start of Gondwana, it was built on, he mentioned the triple bottom line, but it was built on values, true, no BS, true, authentic values in terms of this post-independence Namibian company, it is such a cliche in the corporate world when you talk about all these things in the good times. But the proof is, when the crisis hits. So I think I have deep sympathy for companies who simply didn't have a choice. It's a gut-wrenching decision to make, to let people go or to cut salaries, and we shouldn't take that lightly. So, but we are in the very, very fortunate position that that we can, for the time being, we can afford to keep our people. And this is where true values come in. The one thing that which we also discussed is if you look at that cliche in the good times that my people are, they are our biggest asset.
Yeah.
And an asset is something on the balance sheet. And when the crisis hits, overnight, that asset flies from the balance sheet over to the income statement, and that asset turns into the biggest expense. And again, I'm not pointing fingers. Many companies simply did not have the choice. But in good times and in bad times, our people are our biggest asset. Our culture. You've mentioned our, one employee there. I guarantee you, they all like that. It's a culture. It's a family. and that was and we are so lucky and privileged to be in a strong position where we can say, guys, we will look after you. Of course, money said it. Every dollar is a prisoner. So we are really, really cutting costs as far as we can. And in terms of salaries, we did suspend the pension contribution, of the employer to the employees. And the benefit of that is that we save money on Gondwana's side, on the employer side, but it doesn't change the take-home pay of our employees. And you must understand, of the 1,000, almost 100, many of our employees are in rural Namibia. It is out there. It is not in Windhoek. It is out there in the far reaches, in the villages, and we understand and we respect our impact there. And yeah, so it's a bold decision. It is not something that we can continue with indefinitely.
Yeah.
But our primary focus is and will always be Gondwana. If there are no employer, there are no employees. As simple as that. But we hope for some recovery towards the end of the year. So for now, salaries at Gondwana are safe. And again, as a collective, as a family, when those difficult decisions will be made, it will be a collective. It will include me. It will include money. But let's hope for the best, and that we can get out on the other side even stronger.
Okay.
Ek dink my laaste vraag wat ek wil vra, en ek dink dit is die mees belangrikste vraag wat ek wil vra, first and foremost, your lodges at this moment in time, are they all closed? Can anybody travel to a lodge now at this stage?
So no, what we did in terms of phase 2, in terms of the regulations,
yes,
as we read it,
now?
in terms of restaurants, that's not happened. So all our self-catering products, which is our camping and our camping to go, which is self-catering, that's open. That's open for business as we sit here.
Okay.
And we hope, if all, in terms of the regulations remain the same, that from the 2nd of June, the lodges itself will also open.
Okay. So, die belangrikste vraag wat ek dan wil vra is, gaan julle drank verkoop? Ons wil net gaan as daar drank is. Ek het nie met jou gepraat nie, okay? Jy kan jou kop skud ook, ek stel nie belang nie. Mr. Anti-B, ja. Gaan daar bier wees? Dis al wat ek wil weet.
From your lips to God's ears. We are suffering in silence.
I just one thing that I maybe want to ask, because I did see some suggestions coming from some of the viewers of Gondwana taking over administration of some other lodges. I don't want to mention names, Crossbarman. But are you guys are you guys perhaps planning on expanding your brand within the country?
Always. It's a very, very dynamic company with a very dynamic culture. So always, as long as it makes sense in terms of our triple bottom line, that's very important, and it's got to be profitable. If it's not profitable, it's not sustainable. It's always got to be kind to the environment and kind to our people. That is very, very important. So we are forever looking at opportunities in Namibia, but even beyond. Tourism is not limited to the boundaries to the borders of a country. So tourism, to some extent, is already regional. So we are definitely exploring, looking at all possibilities.
Okay.
There is definitely some work still to be done in Namibia, and I'm so excited that we're opening King Nahale Lodge, because the North, with its rich culture and history, was for so many years neglected. It's actually a shame that it wasn't on a tourism map before. And so we're currently working on that region, the former 4.0 region, former Ovambo land. And we're going to produce a book on the North, The Colorful World of Ovambo, with Willie Olifi. And we're already posting some of those content on our social platforms, and the people are loving it. And so that destination, the North, is definitely something we're unlocking now. And the same we did with the Zambezi region, former Caprivi region, which are so rich in culture, in history, and in the wildlife, in the Zambezi region. It's just something. And for that reason, we're moving in that areas even stronger.
Okay.
Interesting. Gentlemen, Mr. Manny Colbeck, Gijs, thank you so much for coming in this morning. Are there any final comments from your side that you would like to share? Any final words?
It's thank you, Neville. Thank you for being here and sharing our story. And I can just say, we have to hang in there, be positive. That's what we need now. We've got a beautiful country, we've got beautiful people, and we will get through it here.
Yeah.
Neville, the last comment from my side. As a nation, we've given the hard yards. In the terms of the lockdown, in terms of no beer, and we've come out on the other side with largely corona-free. And I really, really hope our decision makers will see this as an opportunity, to open up tourism in Namibia in a safe way, not just open the borders, but in a safe way, from countries that's got it under control, that we start these air bridges, and let's use this opportunity in terms of the hard yards and in terms of the hard work that's been done, and hopefully to get tourism started, sooner than, that some of our neighbors might be able to.
Was there something significant that Cyril said last night? Ek weet nie, ek het 2 glasse wyn gehad en toe
Wat jy wyn gekry?
Is jou besigheid nie. Ja. But I was watching the press conference, like ek het so 'n bietjie gekyk, but I was floating. So because I knew, kyk, as Cyril praat, then somewhere down the line dan maak Agaba ook gereed om te praat. Verstaan jy? So was there anything, I don't know if you guys watched it last night, was there something significant that South Africa basically announced last night? Because I really, to be honest, I didn't really follow it.
Actually, on the technical side, just in a nutshell, the one thing that I really, really respected of what he did yesterday, in terms of leadership, is that they acknowledged they made mistakes. They made some mistakes, and they not only acknowledged that they made some mistakes, they are fixing those mistakes.
Okay, cool.
In terms of some of the regulations that simply didn't make sense, and I think that's a massive positive.
Okay. Yeah. So as jy kry nie meer kwaais nie, dat jy net weet.
I lost me.
Yeah.
Biri. Right, gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us this morning, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You guys can obviously just go and check the comments on the Informante Facebook page. There's obviously, during the days, there's still some questions and comments coming through as to this interview, but it's really been a pleasure. And we always wanted to have you guys in the studio to speak to you guys one-on-one, to hear it from the horse's mouth exactly what Gondwana has to offer.
You are lying. Our reasons were completely selfish. We wanted to get
Daar sê. Ek wil dit gesê.
Okay.
Nee. Nee, sê. Because you took the words out my mouth now. Sê.
Los me in nou.
Okay.
We know people.
Ja. Ons wil net sê, we would love to come, me and Cubase, come and report back as to the excellent service.
And Maria. Don't forget Maria.
And Maria that Gondwana offers throughout the country.
Yeah.
And the cold beer.
And the
And of
cold
course, the cold
beer. So ons sê maar net, nee. Laat weet maar net vir ons, you know, we are free over weekends. Anywhere in the country you can take us.
We will go.
We go and ride, then we come back. Daar sê ons vir die mense, dit was na gewees. That's all we wanted to do.
Good try, Neville.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. And, obviously the live stream continues.
Yeah.
So ons kan nie nou breek nie. Julle moet nou net so unceremoniously just leave your seats. En terwyl jy praat, Cubase, talk to the viewers while I just usher our guests.
Yeah, let me talk to some of these guys. Eric, jy's nog bezig. I see some people are saying Eric deserves a promotion. You're going to get fired for using up the company's Wi-Fi. Alfredo Check Evangelista, never bason soek no weer 'n freebie. Of course. And Peter Barron van Ginkel. Yeah, the service has always been the best. Joanna T. and Benjamin, how much does it cost? I think the prices will be different depending on which establishment exactly or you want and which services you want to make use of course. But check net for Eric. Volg net Eric's comments. There's like maybe 3-4 different emails that he posted here. If you want this, email here. If you want this, email there. Man is over post.
Die man is op 'n pos.
I like it. That's hard work. What's Maria?
Is jy gaan gedraf vanoggend? Huh? Were you running?
My gangster look.
Scandal.
Man United Football Club.
Yes.
Okay, did you know that was a Man United Football
Of course.
Club shirt?
The person I took it from was a Manchester United fan.
Yeah, it was winter, eh? So it must have been a year ago.
No, more actually. Oh, these things are not working?
Yeah, no, but it's fine. We just, yeah.
No.
Morning, Maria.
Morning.
And,
Ek het nog genoeg gepraat, ek wil nie meer praat nie.
Wat sê
ja,
Dilanis?
Maria, nee, praat jy nou.
Wat sê Dilanis?
Neville staan in Zula freebies.
Luister, Dilanis het gesê, nee, the three of us.
Yeah.
Because Gondwana was this big.
Yes.
So the three of us, whenever we are ready, we can chip.
And we are already ready.
The problem is I can't go now because they can't serve stuff that I want.
He took alcohol. That's why he wants to go. He wants to go get wasted. Without his wife
there.
there.
He can go when the alcohol is.
Yeah.
Ons wil net gaan rus.
Ek en Maria ons kan chip. So you can, and by the way, somebody said you must cut your beard in the comments here.
Wie is hy?
That person is a hater.
Something van Ginkel.
Luister hierso, nee.
Peter Barron van Ginkel.
Nee, dis 'n ou.
It's nog as a out.
Ek stel nie belang.
I was like, it will never be a woman. Women love that stuff.
Peter, I just want to tell you, nee, and you need people out there need to stop referring to me as Neville. You need to show a little bit more respect, okay?
What is that?
Because I was told the other day my new name is, because of the beard, my new name is Uncle Bay.
Bay Uncle.
Okay? So please, Maria.
Next steps up.
Yeah, can you just refer to me as Uncle Bay from here going forward? Yeah, so.
It's a blesser. It's a blesser, no. Minus the money.
So Neville, your bra was in die kot gister mos. Maybe we should touch on that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Ja.
Hey!
Gevaarlik.
Luister, Maria, on that issue. Mr. Namanje was in court yesterday. Now, it's really, I mean, I've seen the court papers. What is that? Why are you laughing? Huh?
Come on, the owner of that jersey is probably looking at it like she still thinks about me. Okay, I'm sorry I had to chip in with that one. I just couldn't let it go. She's wearing my jersey.
The funny thing is, I don't even know exactly who it's from. You know.
Oh, you've been busy.
No, it's not that. I take. If we're dating, guarantee I'm taking some of your hoodies.
Yeah.
I just take hoodies from everybody I date.
Ne?
So now I can't keep track. Like, was this Joseph's? Was this Thomas? No.
They're just there.
Some.
My hoodie collection. Anyway, you were saying something about.
I think the chick is also off track. But anyway, no. What I wanted to ask, I don't know. Maybe you've read these affidavits and these documents or whatever. It's too much for my brain.
Yeah.
40 pages and stuff like that. Whether it was the Cesar Namanje one that he sent or the one that he received.
Yeah, the responding affidavit.
There is the responding affidavit. Now, people would say, yeah, would give me extracts on WhatsApp. Check iso, the one that he received now.
Yeah.
Die man is in die moeilikheid. Hy is in die moeilikheid. And then you have other people who say, would give me extracts of what he wrote, his affidavit, and say, these people have got nothing on Caesar. How do you see this, or how does the media see this, basically?
Is that it's an individual thing, because even lawyers themselves, within themselves, see it differently. So it's just a matter of opinion. But the fact of the matter is, the Law Society of Namibia, the LSN, is a regulatory body, regulatory body. So they're supposed to regulate the members, and if any law firm is a member, so they in this specific case, they've what they've asked of CISA, they've asked of other law firms, other law firms that were being investigated relating to the fish rot. All the other ones complied and opened up their books. Yeah, CISA was the one. There's the only one that said no. Why?
The one who said he's got nothing to hide.
The one that claims he's got nothing to hide is actually the one person. So that's why the LSN then had to approach the High Court to get him.
To get a warrant, basically.
Basically to give them access to his books. And CISA to date has been arguing attorney-client confidentiality privileges, saying that if I give you this information, it's done. Like, I don't know what you're going to do with it. It's like I'm supposed to protect my client. And of course, LSN, even in court yesterday, they've been arguing that, look, your clients are not under investigations. We don't care. You are.
Maria, can you say that slowly? Because that was, when I heard that statement yesterday, I was like, Say that slowly again, so that just to put it into context.
Yes. So the LSN is just saying, your argument of attorney-client privileges doesn't really apply here, because we're not investigating your clients.
Yeah.
We are not investigating your clients.
Yes.
Say, Neville, why are you hammering on that point? Do you have money in Caesar's trust?
Enunciate. We are investigating you.
So Jane Lazarus is a first geld lê ook daar by trust.
He needed to hear that to feel some sense of relief.
Say it again slowly.
Let me breathe a little bit now. Was jy bekommerd?
Is nie maklik nie.
So so basically, not in so many words, but basically what the LSN is saying, that you are the attorney and the client, and by not giving us this access, it's yourself you're protecting. Like, it's you. So you are the client you're seeking to protect. Not any other client. You're not actually arguing privileges, client attorney confidentiality privileges to protect your clients, because your clients are not under threat.
It's you.
It's you.
And your conduct as
and
a
your
law
conduct.
firm and a lawyer.
And the fact, because the reason they need access to the records is when money comes, there's a register. You're supposed to keep a register, account for the money. Now, usually that book is the one that then goes for auditing and what. But now they need the records, because they need to see if what's
in the books
and what's actually
what's
in the account reflects the same. That's why they're trying to get access. And obviously, if they don't get that access, they won't be able to
You want to get the full picture.
they actually will not be able to, see if hold him accountable rather. But obviously, Sisa is talking about the fact that they don't really have jurisdiction to do that. And of course, the LSN is arguing that no, that they do there as a body that regulates members, of which he is one. They do have that mandate. And then obviously his lawyers from Heathcote, they were also arguing that, the fish rot documentary, that is not put in evidence, like the LSN cannot rely on that. Cannot rely on that information because it's not in front of the courts, it's not been verified, and that would it would be another case to verify those recordings and whatever. And the LSN said, whoa. We're not taking our information from. Like this investigation is not because of that documentary.
It's not based on the documentary.
Like information has come to our attention that we need to check.
Yeah.
And that's all we're asking to do. So they'll be back in session today. I don't think a ruling will be given immediately, but I think what the ruling will be is, I think, anybody's guess at this point. It's not really clear. It seems like both sides have seemingly, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I just from a listener, seemingly legitimate arguments. But I would like to see him be held accountable, because if you're saying that we can just hide
money in our lawyer's trust,
with
steal money
using
and give it to your lawyer.
No, that's just not right.
It's not going to work.
I feel very offended, guys, about something that my son said to me last night at home when we were busy following this Cesar Namanje trial, and it really hurt me last night.
What did he say?
My son asked me last night.
Which one?
The oldest, Emilio.
Okay.
Asking me, Daddy, why were you not in Fishrod? Why?
Did he really ask you that?
I was like,
that's why can drop us.
What do you mean? Daddy, if you were in, I mean, look at this guy. Not that he's implying, hello, I don't know if my son was implying that Caesar was part of Fisher. So, said, Daddy, do you know how many cars Caesar Namanje has?
Yeah.
Huh? I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't follow another man's life. Daddy, the guy's got a Audi what and a what and a Porsche and a what.
Yeah.
Daddy, if you were in Fish Road, we could have been driving these cars and we would have lived the high life at clubs over weekend. Ek sê nou, as ek nou in die tronk gesit het.
Presies.
Nee, Daddy, ons ken man. Jy's al losgekom het. So I think maybe for the younger ones, people normally see wealth, and they don't know where wealth comes
It's
from.
not even that. It's like, I think, and it's.
But is
it's
that
a
really
sign.
wealth or just riches?
Okay,
It's
what riches, whatever.
same thing for me
Same
sometimes.
thing, yeah.
What I'm saying is, it's not surprising that his son, kids in the 20s, are the ones that are looking at, because that is the mentality. I mean, our society is encouraging people to, like, that's what they look up to, money.
Driving the
People,
the
and they see
flashiest
money
cars.
as success, even if that money is ill-gotten. Like, those are the value systems we're instilling. So it's like, what car you're driving, like,
Where you
that's
hanging
how
out,
you get more
what are
respect.
you wearing,
It's who
yeah.
you are, what you do, what you have. That, people use that to assess how much respect you give.
It's quantified.
Yes. So, Java taxi for niks. Nobody's looking out for you.
Nope. Peter Barron van Ginkel, ek kyk vir jou, ek het 'n koue een vir jou uncle.
Het jy? Okay, sorry bra nee. Ek sal my Bart skeer vir ry koue ene.
Jesus. Alfredo check evangelista. So, no Maria ons wat die beets het nie. Ladies don't love us, bro.
Well, not this lady, so.
Use your Instagram filters or what are those things and put a beard on your face. Uncle Beatty cover. Bradley Kubisep, Gondwana should make a plan for you guys, Sobar, especially Cubase, because he only travels to the farm while you guys fly out to Cuba. Say it off, asseblief. Tietze. John Shombe, Aye, Uncle what? That they never like we. Yeah.
Mooi gore de vat hoor.
They can't plus. Hey,
Were you eating the orange one?
listen,
Yeah.
is the beste daar by die Gondwana Lodge.
There's wildlife, there's game.
Hallo.
Beste.
Beste.
Nee.
Is dat Ongombe? Moi sê Ongombe. Wat sê wildlife? Ongombe. Doen nooit wat.
Speaking of Ongobe, did you guys see the Mother's Day?
Yes.
Rosne?
I saw that.
What did my
I saw
people
that.
do?
I saw that.
I didn't see.
It's point of reference.
Oh
Maria.
my gosh, no, guys. I will find it for you.
Oh, please, I would like to see.
Are we talking about the same
Yeah,
thing?
we are talking
I
about
think
the
you're
same
talking-
thing.
I want to go see it myself. Hold on. Let me read comments on now. As is no happening like Afghan.
What a nice happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy,
Yeah,
happy
Mother's
Mother's Day.
Tena Nambwa morning crew, Gondwana offers good service but pay employees very little, especially down here in the south of the country. They are gone already, but they are of course going to be going through the comments later on. Raymond Basson, Maria was definitely thinking about the owner of that hoodie this morning.
I don't know who the owner is. What Jelani?
Yeah, Edmundo Da Caprio. Maria, hoeveel hoodies het jy in jou kas?
Yeah.
Just want to keep record.
Yeah. Good question.
You can't even keep record because some were very generous. They gave me 5.
Ooh.
Yeah. Baie gegee. And the stingy one's only 1.
The stingy one, you had to steal it. It wasn't even given. Simon Amushira watching from London, UK. Morning. Maximus Instigator, Holy Boy. Someone say hi to the lady in the studio. She just summed up the whole court session of yesterday for some of us. By the way, I like her voice though.
Oh, thank you. I don't like my own voice, so it's
Who's
nice.
that?
Maximus
Beware.
Instigator, Holy Boy. So
It was, what's the guy's name? His Facebook name is Was Black.
oh, I don't know.
Yeah. But he only does, that guy who posted them, his postings are only in Oshierero.
This is Oshihera, even though it's in English.
Yeah.
It's a Herero reference.
Come on, tall people have nice voices, but join the queue. There's a queue. You guys, we're going to auction Maria off one morning.
Actually, one day now. If I'm single
Yes.
next Valentine's Day, I'm gonna go on a date with one of our listeners.
With
But I'm
one
not
of
paying.
the listeners.
Yeah, but I ain't paying.
Yes, of course.
No, we don't want you to pay.
Xena.
No, Gondwana is going to pay, don't worry.
Yes, can even be. Yeah, we'll choose. who I'm gonna go on a date with.
Urwan,
On a blind date, you guys can choose for
why didn't we think about this on the 31st of January? Yeah. There was so
What's that Anna planner gehad hier? We weren't thinking about this. This is a dope idea.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait. Hello. Can we just put this in context? So the next Valentine's Day celebration of 2021, okay? Because there must not be any corona. It will
It's a
be
club
open,
asleep.
okay? So Maria offered herself names. We put it in a hat and we draw it.
Nee, we'll sort out the details off air. Don't worry about it. For now, they should just know.
Maar ons moet zak maken die dingen.
Ta-da!
Anyway, it's only next year, guys. And I said it's a disclaimer if I'm single. Let's go.
How much of a cut do we give Maria from the money?
Je wordt stokvel, Maria.
Imagine I go on a date with George Kambala.
Auw! Een jaar.
Waar is hij vandaag? I haven't seen him in the
Waar
comments.
is hij?
The white people scared him away.
Ja. Interesting.
Come on, how many days to the next Valentine again? Start marking them off on your wall.
Ja.
Ai, toch. Okay, guys, kom ons gaan nou. Tatinevel Balance is here in Tuscany Diamond Mine. Tuscanini Diamond Mine, part of Trustcorp, asking for a friend.
Where?
I don't know. It just says That the never balances here. Is Tasconini Diamond Mine part of Trascopo? Asking for a friend.
No.
I've never even heard of it. Have you heard of it?
I also haven't heard the name. Thomas Nekongo joining the show. Alfredo, as long as Katrina Trasco can take Maria's place for that date. So waar, cause I won't go to the date with Maria. Klaar, kort nou moet ek met 'n lang vrou loop sukkel.
En ek sal hakskoene aantrek, jy weet toch.
Alfredo, come on. He wants Katrina.
Like I'm showing up to a date with heels. Katrina is 'n getroude vrou.
Ons het nie gevra of Katrina
Ek sê
getroud
net.
is nie.
Jy ken nie Katrina se man nie. Sê hy sal jou mooi. The guy works out.
Abieta came with another comment this morning. Mara, that lady in court yesterday is hardcore going at it with the judge. I like the part when she said, it is what it is. And I also got this from someone's status. You remember yesterday he asked a question and he was accused of getting it from somebody's WhatsApp status.
Yes.
So he just puts a disclaimer in there. It's like, I copied it from somebody. But in any case.
Uda, I think that's her name, Uda.
Is there any chance that the trial will be streamed live?
Unfortunately, we're going to the COVID center
Communication
and
center.
we didn't make prior arrangements. But I actually, which is actually sad because I think we should have been streaming it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have made a lot of sense to stream it, just because COVID center is kind of getting a bit same old.
Ek weet. Can't they shine
They're
stuff?
just
You guys
regurgitating.
have one session.
Well,
Yeah, especially now that there are no new cases. But they don't decide. The Ministry of Information does. But I think it doesn't make sense to have 2 sessions now in a week. It made sense like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. But now that we're not reporting new cases, everybody is asymptomatic now, recoveries are increasing. It's like, do one and that's it.
Toch nie.
Aramaga, Dr. Esther never has anything new to say anymore. She's just there with the same stuff.
like we said yesterday. I'm just playing, guys. I haven't.
Said this morning.
And they have 2 every day, ne?
Yeah.
2 sessions
Yeah.
every day.
10 o'clock,
That's what we're
4
saying.
o'clock.
Yeah, we're saying they shouldn't. They should just have one.
Yeah, we're putting out more information than them. I'm just playing, man. Let's get out of here. We're going to be back tomorrow. Neville, please no surprises tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he took a dance off. Mike weet hoe kom, because he's got 2 left feet. Never seen somebody get so excited to be beaten.
Kom, slaan my.
Ja, maar it's Vrijdagmorgen. We need to do something exciting. Yeah.
What about something making your alcohol here?
We're gonna do it. Surprise.
Young, can I still put in Corona leaf?
Did you not put in corona?
No, for today. Ek wil
Nee.
sit ek wil gaan slap.
We gaan slaap.
Waar was jy gisteraan?
Nee, Tuisie, jy besig.
Oh, okay. No, guys, enjoy the day. See you
Have
guys
a lovely
tomorrow.
Thursday.
Yeah, you guys enjoy the day. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully with more energy than this morning. We'll leave you with Obilem Cannibal Tamara Dektang. I actually like this jam.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Fridays.
The Morning Mix.